The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
The Canucks might have lost to a hockey club tonight, but that's okay, because Thatcher Demko, he's back, baby.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to the postcast here on Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs, co-host of Locked On Canucks, and also a Canucks writer, currently with and writing for, at the moment, Daily Hive Vancouver. Before we dive into it, we got to thank you for tuning in, because we're not here without you, baby, and I'm not here without my co-host, Kyle Bhawan. And Kyle, what a game tonight, man. Again, I don't know, man, the Canucks, Locked On Canucks, man, we're drunk off of optimism here, man. I'm feeling good after a loss, man. I see you smiling over there. And even in the comments too, you know, let's get to it right off the bat here, man. Let's go. I know Ash Neil Lau in the comments saying, this was a great game tonight. This is a great game. And it was one of those things too. It was like
from an Oilers fan. That's coming from
an Oilers fan. Exactly. You know, both teams play great. And, you know, it's always good to watch other teams outside of your own team in the NHL. But, you know, tonight's game was like my performance in the bedroom. Okay. Sometimes you start a little slow, right? You got to get into it. It's like, you know, I'm not feeling it. I gotta work up to a little bit here. And then by the end of it, I'm going full throttle.
Then you bust out of nowhere right at the end of the game. Like just, you think you can hold on to the end to, like, you know, the 45-minute mark. That's always the goal for me, you know? I don't know. That's a couple more Hall of Fame performances would be nice, just to feel something. Like, again, when you have those types of performances, you're walking in Shoppers Drug Mart, you know, with a stroll, okay? You know what I'm saying? Do the math. All in all, though, the Canucks, like Trevor said, didn't start the game well. I would say they didn't really end the game well, too. But there's something there, Trevor. There's something there. I'm sorry, man. I'm smiling. I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? Demko, the Papatias, Papalitis, Pepto Business Paralysis. So what? What's the actual injury, Trevor? I'm gonna start respecting it now. Okay, the Papalias, right? The
Papatias.
Pesticitis.
Yeah. Pepto Bismol.
The Papatias. Okay, it's fixed, and I'm super grateful that Thatcher Demko is such a dog, such a gangster, and so fearless. You know how everyone else is so scared for him to get hurt? You know who's not scared? Thatcher Demko, because you know why? This guy wants to win games. And I'm sorry. Lankinen, Demko, Lankinen, whatever order it is, I'm so convinced that the Canucks will have such great goaltending for 99% of the games moving forward. I know they didn't play perfect today. It wasn't a good bounce-back performance, to be honest. It looked too familiar, especially in the beginning of the game. We could talk about all those negative things. But Trevor, come on. You know this means something. When Demko is looking this good this early, you know this means, ironically, the most.
This is my biggest takeaway from the game tonight, and it's that the Canucks, you know, I think they're going to compete for the Stanley Cup this season. I do think there's better days ahead for this team, and they're going to do it because they got one of the best goddamn goaltending tandems in the NHL. And Kyle, let's look at the numbers quick. You know, right now this season, the Canucks, in terms of their team save percentage, they're towards the bottom of the NHL. Okay, they're hovering around 18th, 19th overall. If you remove the 6 starts from Artur Shilov's in there, the Canucks bounce all the way up to 7th overall in terms of 5-on-5 save percentage in the NHL. Thatcher Demko through 4 games right now. He's 5th overall in the NHL with the .940 save percentage at 5-on-5. And, you know, it's a bit of a double-edged sword with Demko too, because, you know, he lets in 9 goals in his first 2 games. You know, I don't think the OT winner was great today, although odd man rush, Carson Soucy stick got in there. But I don't think that tells the whole story, because he has made 5 alarm saves in every single start that he's made so far this season. And he's doing it right now, playing his 3rd consecutive game in a row for the first time in a long, long time. That must be since February of last season, right? Because he has 2 games of mop-up duty last season, then 1 game in the playoffs. So Thatcher Demko, he's come back, and I think there was, you know, maybe a little bit of hesitation in his game in that first game against St. Louis, but since then, I mean, he has been so rock solid for this team, even in those first 2 games when he lets in 9 goals in those 2 games. He's been so good for this team. And again, the Canucks right now, 7th best save percentage in the NHL at 5-on-5 with Kevin Lankinen and Thatcher Demko.
Yeah, man, I think that this notion that this was going to be a slow start for Demko. And again, I know he allowed 3 straight goals today, and maybe some people are watching this and like, our goaltenders, like, no goalie can be great if he lets in 3 goals, blah blah blah. You have to look at this from a different point of view, and just knowing what Demko went through and the possibility of it taking a while for him to rev up, being part of the script in this story for the Vancouver Canucks was still a little scary because this team's been slow. This team's been inconsistent, and we've been preaching, like people, we're still making the playoffs. I guarantee it, even if it takes this team way longer to get their ish together, okay, throughout all facets of the ice. But the base will be there for this team to pick up a lot of points, not just enough points, a lot of points, because they have top end skill and really, really, really good goaltending. And again, I thought it would take Demko a lot longer to get here, and the fact that he's here is like, dude, there's literally 51 games left, and I today just I felt it in my heart, man. Maybe people are stressing. Even the Discord people are talking about the draft already, the draft lottery.
No way.
No, I swear, dude. People are tensed up. Like, oh, this team's not good enough. We shouldn't go all in this season. It's like I get all those points, but just know in your heart you will be watching hockey in April and May. Like, I just know it. I just know it. I know it's there. It's again a lot of top end skill with really good goaltending, and collectively as a team, this is the hard part, and this is the truth, Trevor. And a lot of people in the comments talking about this too. You can feel it. They're not firing on all cylinders. In fact, today, if you want to be real about this team, they took a step backwards today. They did. They didn't really build off of their last performance. You can talk about some of the minor things when it comes to like Joshua and Höglander playing better in the second half, Heinen playing better. I thought Kiefer Sherwood had a strong game, but yeah, it just wasn't a full throttle effort, similar to Florida or Colorado, and to me that's a bit of a disappointment, man.
Yeah, and that's fair, right? I think when you lose, it's going to be a little bit of disappointment. But Kyle, to your point about this team playing games in April and May, look, again, we all know the story, right? They've gone through a lot early on in the season at the third way mark, I guess you want to call it that. JT Miller being gone, Pettersson's absent, Hronek's injury, Dakota Joshua's cancer recovery, Brock Besser's concussion. What else am I missing? I say Philip Hronek already, Thatcher Demko missing time. This team has been through a lot, way more than they went through last season in terms of controversy. And Kyle, when I was hockey nerding out, I pulled this from Money Puck earlier, and
what is this?
Trevor, this is going to give people a headache, Ray. But my point here, okay, shut up, Kyle. My point here is that there's 12 teams right now that look like contenders for the Stanley Cup, according to Money Puck. And the Vancouver Canucks are at the tail end of that right now, along with the Edmonton Oilers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Florida Panthers. You got teams like the Jets, Wild, Knights, Devils, Canes, Kings in there as well. But my point is, there seems to be a clear divide between the top 12 teams in the NHL right now. Every team outside that top 12, outside of Colorado, is kind of a middle-of-the-pack team, wildcard team. So I think right now, the fact that the Canucks are a low-end contender, despite the fact that they've gone through a ton this season, despite the fact they haven't had their starting goalie, their two centers playing together. They're still not playing together, by the way. More on that in the second segment. But again, lots has gone wrong for this team so far, but the fact that they're a low-end contender to me is a really promising sign. And the floor of this team is always going to be high when you got the depth that Vancouver has offensively and when you got one of the best freaking goaltending tandems in the NHL.
And Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, and Quinn Hughes. Yeah, that makes a difference.
I feel like he's entering that territory where maybe I'm late to the party. Like, he's good for 1 goal a game. You know what I'm saying? Something's getting tips, backdoor player, he's scoring a goal, a rebound. Like, he's on that type of level. And there was that stat today that got brought up, how he's been involved on 30% of the Canucks offense this year. If that's correct, which is crazy to me. Like, holy dude, that's crazy. That's with an inconsistent power play too. That's getting better. More on that later. But Trevor, man, what are you doing? What type of graph was that, bro? I feel bad for your children, man. Do you make them read a children's book with a dictionary on the other hand so they understand every single word too? What type of data is that, bro? That was something else. But hey, you mentioned that the Canucks, in theory, based on that chart, I'm going to say it right now, is the 12th best team in the league. And again, with the eye test, it's not there. And I know they're getting a lot of help via the goaltending that's kept that up there. But at the end of the day, there are some, again, gritty moments from this team. They don't give up. Again, they blow the 2-goal lead, and at the end of the game, they get a lot of chances. I'm not talking about overtime, too. I'm talking about Sergachev saving a goal with a minute left. I think it was Sergachev when Garland got the play in the back door. Like, that could have been a goal. And if that was a goal, you're kind of looking at this and, like, saying once again that this team just does not They don't break. Like, I know they blew a 2-goal lead inside. This sounds crazy with full bias, but it seems like they don't completely break, and they'll always be around. And that's something that's keeping them, at the bottom of that first tier on that chart. And what's also keeping them there is what do I want to say here? It's Trevor. I'll tell you on the other side.
We'll get to it on the other side here. Let's get to a ton of comments on the other side, hopefully. And I do want to touch on the Miller and Pettersson thing as well, Kyle. I know you want to slap me through the computer, but channel your anger into something productive in the next 2 minutes while I do these ad reads here on Locked On Canucks. Again, you're listening to Locked On Canucks, your Canucks every day and every night, baby. Let's go. We'll be back on the other side after shouting at our friends over at Select Quote and Prize Picks. Oh, man, for our friends over at Select Quote, they're doing it, okay? On the insurance side, there's no other place you got to go than Select Quote, baby, because if you're in good health, Select Quote, they're going to reward you, all right? That means no medical exam required for coverage of up to $5 million. No finger up the butt, baby. Okay, that's a good thing. There you go. They are one of the world's top insurance organizations, and they know that teamwork makes the dream work, baby, okay? You want your Canucks to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. You want those Packers to get to the Super Bowl. You need teamwork, baby. And Select Quote, they are the kings and queens of teamwork, okay? Head to selectquote.com and a licensed insurance agent will call you right away with the right policy for your life and your budget. Get the right insurance for you for less at selectquote.com/lockedonnhl. Go to selectquote.com/lockedonnhl today to get started. That's selectquote.com/lockedonnhl. All right, if you're dabbling in that daily fantasy sports world, you got to go check out Prize Picks, baby. This is the best place to turn your sports knowledge into real cash money. Whether it's hockey, football, or any of your favorite sports like sumo wrestling, Prize Picks makes it easy to get in on the action. And it was 100, it was 200. Now you can win up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks. Plus, this holiday season, they're giving away $30 million in rewards during Pixmas and offering 2 free picks in December. And when your picks hit, Prize Picks makes it easy to cash out, and you get your money in as fast as 15 minutes. This week on Prize Picks, I've been eyeing the hockey board. I said 1 win for Demko, 1 win for Lankinen. JT Miller with a couple assists, Elias Pettersson with the goal. Those are my picks. And there's still time for Kevin Lankinen and Thatcher Demko to pick up wins, baby. Okay, Canucks, just finish the week strong, okay? Just like my sex life. Sorry, Kyle's aunt, who doesn't like me talking about my sex life. Anyways, on Prize Picks, go download that app and use code LOCKEDONNHL to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's right, $50 instantly. Prize Picks. It's time to run your game, mother.
Okay, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks and our love lives. And yeah, I know my aunt in the comment getting mad that we talk about these things, okay? For real. But at the end of the day, I'm a Hindu. I'm a Hindu. The Kama Sutra, do the math. And also, bro, we got to instill confidence in our listeners. And Trevor, man, I talked to you many times. I wasn't lasting long in bed for a long time. And what did you tell me? To give myself some pep talks and be confident. And I'm spreading that word. Be confident. And last a long time. Hey, be confident in your Vancouver Canucks. Okay? Think about it. And my second point to this belief that Trevor and those charts and that data is in line, that the Canucks are actually pretty good. It's been 31 games of hockey. And yeah, they're getting a lot of help between whoever's in net. But they only have 9 regulation losses. Canucks fans, okay? I'm trying to do this too. I'm trying to get help. Maybe I got to go to therapy. Who knows? Okay? 2 years ago, it wasn't like this. Real talk. And I'm starting to look at this, especially over the last couple of hours, a little bit differently. And I'm feeling kind of grateful that we're kind of here. Again, hippy-dippy stuff. I know Deepak Chopra stuff. I want this team to play way better. Elias Pettersson getting outplayed easily by Keller and Gunther. And it's annoying. Not going to lie. It's annoying. Defensively, he was good, but where's the attack? I'm there too. But I'm also not stupid, okay? 9 regulation losses in 31 games, if my math is correct, Trevor. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and again, like I said, the Canucks for them to be in that top tier contender category, again, the low end of it, in my opinion, despite
Yep.
everything they've gone through, is a damn good thing. And like, look, right now they're on pace for 101 points, despite everything that's going on. And I think that's really all you can ask for as Canuck fans. And speaking of fans, man, we got the best fans in the world, so let's get to some comments, baby. Yeah, we got a comment from 1Q3ER5. Wow, it's a robot, man. He's saying that the graph I put up on YouTube looks like his crypto trading chart. I know kind of got faces for podcasts anyway, so sometimes you might just want to go check us out on the podcast side as well. Carmen Graywall in the comments saying JT Miller was looking like 2021 JT Miller, not changing and throwing grenades out there. JT Miller and Pettersson, I'm going to talk about a con. I know you don't want to hear it.
Go ahead,
But
probably.
tonight at even strength, the player who Pettersson played with the least was JT Miller. Okay, they were on the ice for only 28 seconds together. Just a very, very quick lotto line shift in the second period. But Pettersson played with literally every other Canuck more at even strength. On the power play, they're not together anymore. It was Miller on the first unit tonight, Pettersson on the second unit. The second unit does end up scoring a goal there. And then on the penalty kill as well, right? You see both Miller and Pettersson on the penalty kill. They played a lot together on the penalty kill. And now you had Pettersson with Suter and Miller with Bluger. Kyle, I know you're just gonna brush this off, but to me, it's a story that these guys are just not sharing the ice at all together.
We'll break it down. Why is it a story? Like, what you think? There's some science to it. Like, has there ever I don't know. Look at like how much time has Malkin and Crosby ever spent away from each other on power plays? Like, is it a story here because there's some noise in the room supposedly, and now these two are not playing together on the power play, and it's like, okay, but Pettersson was on a unit that produced a goal.
Dude, you had this guy literally shoving Pettersson in practice. A couple weeks before he gets kicked off the team, he leaves the team for it's just like it's an odd situation, man. It is an odd situation. I mean, they're asked about their relationship before. You can tell personality wise, like they're just not the same dude. And look, again, we said it earlier this week, so I'm not being all negative here. Kyle, you and I said it this week. Everydayers know the Canucks can win a cup with Miller and Pettersson on the same team. But to me, it's interesting that as soon as JT Miller comes back, these guys just aren't sharing the ice together at all. I think they won like a game and a half on the power play together before they decided to split them. And yeah, I just think to me, it would be a little bit less auspicious if they just did the whole 1A, 1B thing instead of, just one center playing with all the leftover guys. But anyways, that's just me.
That's just you. And that's just a lot of people. Again, you said it. I thought you were going to say more. I thought you were going to be like, oh, we said it earlier. These two can win a Stanley Cup while playing on the same team, but they have to be on the same page. More on this at 7:00, dude. It's going to be fine. Okay, Trevor, you look at yourself in the mirror. It's the holidays. Okay, you asked for the split. The split produced a goal. The second unit produced a goal today. Oh, I don't want to see Hein in there. I want DeBrusque there. I want to split it up, dude. This is how it looks right now. Okay, they're experimenting. Okay, it's not that deep. And I keep saying this. I don't want to believe this is true because I don't want to believe Pettersson and Miller are that weak. I'm not talking about no mental stuff. I'm talking about some team-ish, team-ish. You can't be that immature to not be able to put your differences aside to help win an NHL game. Okay, this ain't rec league, okay? It's also not the time to do this because the best player on your team is one of the best players in the league right now, okay? Top 5 without a doubt. And look at what he's doing. Despite what's happening in the room as being a second-year captain, like he's holding it down, doing his thing, showing up. I don't want to believe that again. These two are so emotional about their whatever's happening, if it's happening, that they can't play with each other in the power play. That's okay. That just sounds so stupid, so immature, and that's not happening here with the Vancouver Canucks. Like it's okay. We wanted a split and we got it. And it worked today. We got a goal. Trevor, man, come on, man.
There we go. Negative Beggsy, the darkest guy in the program, as D Bomber says in the comment. I'm just the Canucks propagandist as well. Whatever that means, man. A couple more things I want to get to in the comments here, including your thoughts on something that happened earlier, Kyle. All right, Kyle. So you didn't join the show earlier today. It was a trade heavy on the trade talk, and you talked about Millen Pettersson needing a backbone, being able to get along, and hopefully that is the case for your Vancouver Canucks. Celtics Elkin saying we need a D with the backbone, and he has the Provorov with the winky face. Ashley now also asking the comments, what's up with the trade talk, and what are your guys' thoughts on that? And as we talk about JT Miller and Pettersson, we're getting all kinds of trade PD for this, trade Miller for that. Probably the most interesting one is JT Miller for Tage Thompson, but Kyle, what are your thoughts on just the D trademark in general and the Provorov talk and rumors from earlier today?
Damn, I think that it's hard to like really take a stab at what's going to happen because there's just so many moving parts, and you also are talking about a team that went all in last year, right, based on asset management, right? If you look at it from afar, those are moves that contending teams do, and they did it. They traded a lot of picks and prospects, okay? And now you're going into this season, and yeah, we gassed this team up. 9 regulation losses in 31 games. They're a good team. Good teams go for it as well. And it's a Canadian market, and we got Quinn Hughes playing at the top of his game, and Demko's back. You got to go all in too. But it's like, dude, you also have a team that didn't show up for another first period. I keep saying it, man, and I know I'm all over the place, but I'd be very, very scared to do anything super, super aggressive right now. Like, if you can fix the D somehow with the Höglander 1-for-1 type switch, maybe Höglander in a second, that's kind of like the most I would do right now for any of these guys on these trade lists, because the Canucks aren't playing like that team right now, okay, that needs the details and should be going all in for a second year in a row, in my opinion, unless it's subtle, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be subtle, and it's kind of scaring me, man.
Yeah, and if it's not subtle, maybe it's someone who's not a rental, right? And that's what Mike Laval's saying in the comments. Mike Laval echoing what we're saying. He has no doubt the Canucks are making the playoffs, but he thinks it's better the Canucks to hold the chips this year, and that any defense we acquire should be more than a rental. And again, that's why I kind of ended most of the Provorov talk earlier today with the fact that I wouldn't chase it out of the Canucks unless the price is going to be much lower than what he's actually going to get on the market. Because I'm not. Look, I think a lot can change this year. It's not even Christmas yet. I still think the Canucks have another gear to hit, but they haven't brought the same pizzazz, the same hype, the same buzz that they brought at this point last season. I still think it can come for this club, so I'm not going to say, this isn't the year. Don't go in on it. I think it's too early to tell still because of how much has gone on so early on for this Vancouver Canucks. And again, they're a confusing team right now. There's a lot of positives, a lot of negatives. Okay. And it's resulted in them still end up kind of being a low-end contender, which is still pretty nice for Canuck fans.
I feel like you and I are on the same page, and maybe some people in the comments as well. I think right now the most we'd be comfortable with letting go right now is Höglander in a 2nd-round pick, and I feel like that's so firm. That's so firm. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they just haven't proven to be dog-like yet, and they just got to be more consistent. You can't again, bro. I mean, I'm hearing people talk about the altitude and all this stuff in Utah, and like it's a different. Oh, you got to watch out for the boards, and it's different. You got to get used to playing in that rink, and there's probably some truth to that because we're not alpha athletes. We're not these guys. Those details do matter, but this team cannot afford any more excuses for performances like that in any period. Again, I feel as if we've already reached the quota, for a full season, let alone one that's only been 31 games long. Like, that first period was embarrassing. And not right. It's questionable, that first period was still concerning. You have to give it. Again, we were really happy this whole episode because I believe it. I'm really happy with Demko's performance, and go to sleep with that Demko, just that Demko angle. Try not to listen to me here. In fact, close the episode right now. But yeah, the first period was concerning to me. It was annoying.
Yeah, and a lot of our commenters echoing the same thing. Infamous saying, lucky to get a point after that brutal first period. Sucks losing like we did, but right now all we got to do is secure that playoff spot. And again, the Canucks are on pace for 101 points. Despite everything that's gone on. So to me, I'm breathing that success, man. There you go.
Can I ask you, before we get out of here, one love to all the comments, hit the like button, happy holidays. One love to all y'all again. We got to say it every day or more often in general, but Trevor and I are living the dream, okay? For real. You should feel my heart right now. So much love because this has been one of the coolest years ever. All that being said, Trevor, get philosophical with me, okay? Like, you look at how the Florida Panthers, right? They make the playoffs at the end of the season a couple years ago, and they go all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. We just talked about Demko being so magical, and you should rest easy with that. Give something to our fans, okay? Because again, people are stressed out. They're smart. They're smart as well. Those first periods are concerning, but I'm pretty sure Florida probably had a lot of first periods like that too. That's why it took them till the last day to get to the playoffs. Like, do you think it could switch around for playoffs and for a team in the instance like Infamous maybe alluding to, because he said it right there, brutal first, but all we have to do is get into the playoffs. Like, is that really good enough? And can you still equate some magic from like scraping by and just getting in?
Yeah, I absolutely think you can. Again, look at the top contenders in the Western Conference now, are the teams leading the West. It's, the Vegas Golden Knights, who we both had a lot of questions about entering the season. It's the Minnesota Wild, who didn't even make the playoffs last year. And it's the Winnipeg Jets, who everyone was picking to miss the playoffs, right? I don't think there's some, crazy top tier contender. Like maybe the Dallas Stars right now, who again are third in their division. And I guess the Edmonton Oilers, but they have flaws too. So no, I think if the Canucks just get into the playoffs, that is the goal. Just get into the playoffs and see what happens. I mean, yeah, of course, it's nice to win the division. It's nice to have home ice. Actually, for the Vancouver Canucks, it might be more beneficial for them not to have home ice since they are 11-2-2 on the road this season. So for me, I don't think, I'm not too worried about them, winning the division, winning the conference, whatever. Just get in the damn playoffs. Hopefully you're going in hot and playing your best hockey this season at the time. And that's what matters most for this club, because again, it might be a drama-filled season where we're feeling a little iffy and a little skeptical during the regular season. But when the playoffs hit, who knows? It could be a whole different story.
And that's mainly because, again, of the back end. What's in the back end? What's on the back end? What? Like, okay, Thatcher, Demko, and Quinn Hughes. Again, it might be happening. Like, we might have got Vezina Demko back. He might actually be cured from the Papatias. And again, Quinn Hughes, I'm just so convinced that not his best game today, especially in the first half of the game, but just being able to just continue to do whatever he wants, altitude or not, right? Altitude or not, whatever rink he's in, it's just it could spark that magic. And again, we have a long time, man. Again, Vegas tomorrow. You know what? We got a point today. Can we end it on this? Can everyone just agree on this? If the Canucks get their ass kicked tomorrow in Vegas, might happen again. This team is so damn inconsistent, okay? For real. Look at that first period. They have a first period like that in Vegas, they're probably down 3-0, okay? If they get their ass kicked tomorrow, but we see pictures, TMZ, and it's Elias Pettersson and JT Miller in the club going hard, dancing with each other, just like boys with each other. Boom, bam. We're bros. They're having shots together. It was a long night. Those start leaking. It's all good. We won the game. We won the season. We're winning the Stanley Cup. Okay? For real. That's what we need. We need a night out in Vegas. We don't need a win in Vegas. We need Pettersson and Miller to have a night out, man. Okay? There you go. What stays in Vegas, happens in Vegas, stays in Vegas, right? Boom, bam.
There you go. And I think we got the perfect comment to end on here as well. Let's get the last comment to SK93. The Miller and Pettersson beef is literally the plot of the first Toy Story movie. They'll be fine. So, Kyle, I think you hit the nail on the head. Time for Miller and Pettersson to be so good of friends that they change names. Go out and have a great time in Vegas. Hopefully get a dub against Vegas as well. I mean, that's a damn good hockey team. And I hope that rivalry can be something here over the next couple of years with the Canucks as a contender. And for Miller and Pettersson and Canucks fans, let's just go watch the Toy Story, okay? Everyone watch Toy Story and manifest better days ahead for Miller Pettersson and the Vancouver Canucks.
Dude, Mufasa's coming out. Okay, I seen that trailer. Like, you want to talk about a turn of events in a Disney plot? You got to look at the trailer for Mufasa. Anyways, Kyle Bound, Trevor Beggs, hit the link in the bio. One love to Canucks, okay? Yo, it's the holidays. I don't give an ish. Thatcher Demko, he warmed my heart up today, okay? For real, I'm convinced that he's back. He's a dog. We're still picking up points. We'll figure this out, man. No journey is linear, right? That's what they say. That's what Deepak Chopra says, man. No journey is linear, but it could still be magical. Boom, bam. Do the math. Hit the like button. Let's get out of here. Beggsy, sign us out.
I need to borrow your Karma Sutra book, buddy. You're on one, buddy. You're on one.
To infinity and beyond. That's all I could have said. My bad.
That's
Should've
all right.
just-
No, you did a great job. I need to borrow your Karma Sutra book, and you're the best. Thatcher Demko's a beauty, but the fans here of Locked On Canucks are the GOAT. So thanks again for tuning in, from everyone, from the everydayers to the first time listeners. We appreciate each and every one of you. Again, on the podcast side, if you like what we're doing, go follow us, leave a 5-star review on YouTube, go subscribe and hit that goddamn like button. Help us feed our families. But for now, I got to get the hell out of here. Kyle's got to get the hell out of here. You've been listening to another episode of Locked On Canucks. We'll be back tomorrow, baby.